All right, Shalom. To the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, scattered across the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, we're going to face the east and give all praises to Barak and Yahawah. Barak and Yahawashi. Barak and Yahawah, Barak and Yahawashi. Barak and Yahawah, Barak and Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone, who led me to this truth, who has been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath. To all those who are part of the elect, and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing to be part of that number. Lord willing to be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So the title of this camp, Lord Spirit put the Spirit on me to do today, is it's basically talking about the Spirit is like the wind. No, we can't access the Rawchaa Qadash. It has to access us. We can't just, access us whenever we want. Bear with me, give me 1 second. So we're going to first start off at John chapter 3, verse 8. So this is John chapter 3. Salakia. Salakia. Can you hear me well? I think, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Right. Lock you. So this is John chapter 3, verse 8. And I might do a part 2. Kind of got a lot of stuff going on today. Don't really got a lot of time, but I'm still gonna come back and do this before I gotta go to the plantation. And no matter what you got going on, you gotta do the work, man. I've got a lot of stuff going on. That don't mean nothing. It's all part of our trial. It's all part of our trial. All these people, not showing us no mercy and stuff like that, trying to be tough on us and just worry about their problems. They don't worry about our problems. That's okay. I ain't worried about it. So this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. And it reads, the wind bloweth where it listeneth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. So, we're of the Spirit. We're not of the flesh, That's why we don't react to things how other people react, And sometimes we get angry, yeah. Sometimes we get upset because we're going through hell over here. But we still don't react how these nations do, We don't start raping and pillaging the land and rising up and doing all that shit and doing all this other fucked up shit, not giving a fuck about your people, And that's how Esau Edom is. He don't give a fuck about his people, man. But we care about our people over here. Well, the hopeful elect, 2/3, we don't care about them. Why? Because they act like Esau Edom, man. They don't got no fucking mercy, man. They don't give a fuck about what nobody going through. They just give a fuck about what they got going on. And if they do help you, it talks about how if they do help you, the Lord make them help. They don't give a fuck about us, man. Them 2/3, don't none of them give a fuck about that. I ain't saying I'm part of the elect saying that. But what I'm saying is, I know I'm not no fucking 2/3, man. Because I'm not doing what they doing, man. We're not no 2/3. We're hoping to be on the elect, But like the elders and apostles say, every day it's looking more like it as we keep doing this work, and as we keep declaring His name every day and exalting His name. It don't matter who around. The wind gonna blow. It don't matter. It don't matter who's around. It don't matter what we're going through. The wind gonna blow where it's gotta blow. This is Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 9. It don't really matter, man. It doesn't matter what these other nations think about us. It doesn't matter how they treat us. Because in the end of the day, it's going to be done unto them double. So sometimes the Lord will let them do stuff to you. But then to realize, man, hey, you're going to pay for that, man. I ain't going to do nothing about it. I don't care. So as long as I can do my lessons, I can go to the plantation till Jacob's trouble. Hey, whatever else, man, I don't need it, man. I need that and the brotherhood, man. That's it. And the hopeful elect. That's the ones who are sincere. We don't care what we're going through. We're gonna get this work done. So this is Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 9. It might be 30. Bear with me. This is talking about the valley of dry bones. In Ezekiel chapter 37, it talks about these valley of dry bones, and that's our people. You know, and we ought to be out here prophesying to our people week in and week out. You know, bringing this truth out. And we try to keep it simple because there's so many people that are still not awake yet. You know, you really want to get in depth, you want to go learn that from the elders and apostles. You know, but when you go and learn from them, you're going to see a lot of their videos that keep it simple. You know, and then you're supposed to report to your camp elders, the ones in their city, and they're going to break down things to you as you study, as you diligently study, and you diligently try to learn the things that the Lord's showing you. You know, you got to ask, you got to pray for the Lord to increase you. You pray for the Lord to give you understanding, and then you read, you know. But it's good to have the elders because sometimes they'll give you stuff to read. You check this out, you know, and you learn that stuff. But if you study diligently enough, there are brothers who do very strategic breakdowns, you know, that'll really give you an insight on this truth. But, you know, we're here to just, you know, give it to you plain. You know, we don't want to get too deep. You know, you be 1 foot in deep, not 2. Just like Elder Manazabak said, you don't want to get too deep. You know, then you can bug somebody out. We don't want to put nobody, you know, get you thinking too much. Just like when in the Matrix, you know how I had Neo, and Neo, they told him all that stuff, and he bugged out and threw up. You know, and that's what kind of is with the truth. You can't just learn a whole bunch of the truth, and you might not be ready for that. Some brothers is, but some need a little bit more time. You know, and that's where we got to get the long suffering and the patience coming from. But this is Ezekiel chapter 38 or 37, verse 9, and it reads, "Then he said unto me, prophesy into the wind." You know, because he said the spirit is like the wind. So if those people out there, when you prophesy it to them, and they got that wind, you know, they're gonna hear. If they're of the spirit, they're gonna hear us. You know, we don't have to try too hard. Oh, shalom, bro. So, you know, it says to prophesy in the wind, the water for tuning in, everybody who comes across here. How about Shemel Barak Atham? You know? So it says prophesy into the wind, prophesy, son of man. You know, see, this is our duty. This is a commandment. And, you know, I just learned recently, you know, diligently listening to a brother, it was a Zon Amah. He was rebuking somebody, and through that rebuke, I learned that there was 1,050 commandments in the New Testament. So we know we can't follow all of them, but we're going to do our best, you know. We're going to do our best. And if we try those and keep those other 613 commandments, you know, because really we only got to follow 612. But when you look at that 613th, that was talking about the sacrificing of animals, stuff like that. We're the sacrifice, you know. So that's the only thing different here, you know. But we're supposed to follow everything to the best of our abilities. We know we can't do everything, but we're going to try because we love the Lord, you know. We love the Lord, man. And we always have. But we wouldn't be here again today telling them that we love him because he said that nothing is going to separate us, you know. But I don't want to get off topic, Salakia. But it says, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power. You know, and when it says power in the Bible, it says God, but the power is Yahawah. But, you know, when it says the Lord God, it's basically saying Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you know, him and it's coming in the name of his son. You know, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. See, because it said that we're not going to live by nothing but the word of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi alone. You know, that's what's going to really keep us alive. And it might not look like it to these other people, especially when we're going through these grievous trials, things that are really tough for us. But these are to strengthen our faith, because if we can't get through the training, you know, it's him putting us to that fire to say, all right, you're ready to face Jacob's trouble. You're ready. Nothing's gonna freak you out when you see it, you know. And some stuff we might look at it and be like, oh shit, but we're gonna have that spirit in us. Like we're gonna be a lot more stronger, you know, than an average person out here, you know. Shalom, big bro. Yahawashi, Barak, Atham. But yeah, we're gonna be a lot tougher than a lot of people realize. You know, the Lord's gonna turn us into something that's, you know, way more powerful if we of that elect. Of course, Lord willing, we part of that number. But this is what we fighting for. You know, we fighting for him to put that spirit on us when they lift that standard up against us. And we're prophesying to our people in the wind and saying, hey, you got to get this truth in you. You know, you got to fill your lamp up. You know, which is your body, your lamp is the body, and you got to fill this knowledge up. And your body up with this knowledge. So it said, breathe upon the slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me. See, it's the commandment. And the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up on their feet, and great exceeding army. So see, this is an army. And that's why, you know, you got a lot of people who, you know, that claim they in the truth, you know, but if you're really not serving Yahawashi, Yahawashi, that doesn't mean you have to be out here prophesying. Not everybody's a prophesier. Some people, you know, you can do other things by giving alms to the brotherhood. Maybe making sure brothers get to camp around in your area. You know, anything, you know. You know, it's got to be bigger than that, but you got to put yourself out there. You got to be, hey, I care about this. You know, you got to make yourself known. You know, you got to show you really care. You know, this is an army, man. This is a spiritual military. You know, and you got the people that's in the military, they doing their work, and then you got the ones that's outside the military under the umbrella, like me, and the other brothers who believe in Great Millstone. We care about Great Millstone. You know. We on the outside, but we still, you know, we clinging to the body. You know? So then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. See? Behold, they say our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. See? We was all cut off out here. So this is verse 12. It reads, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahawashi, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and will cause you to come up out of your graves, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. And that's what he's doing right now. He's getting his men together to get ready to lead all of our people back to Israel, starting with Yahawashi. You know, that's what we need to be prepared for, you know, and that's why we need laborers. Because we don't know who the elect is, but if you're of the elect, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put on this image to the best of our abilities. So if you are the elect, you are prepared. You know, you're not supposed to take light of this. You know, but you know, necessary patience and seeking the Lord is very important. So John chapter 20, verse 22. You know, sometimes we come off angry, sometimes we come off, you know, very, very austere, but that's how the Lord is, you know, very serious. You know, he's nothing to play around with, you know, and he needs men. He don't need men, actually. We need him, you know. He don't need us. But he's looking for men to put on this calling and put on this image, you know. The only ones that's going to do that is the hopeful elect, the ones who really care. And like I said, everybody has their own measure. So don't think just because you ain't teaching doesn't mean that the Lord ain't dealing with you. You might just need to learn a little bit more. Shalom, love. But yeah, you might just need to learn a little bit more. You know, the Lord has this time, you know, where he puts everybody out here who he's supposed to put out here, you know. But if his spirit's on you, you're going to want to come out here. So this is John. Lock here. Give me 1 second. My board flying. All right, so lock in. So we're going to go to John chapter 20, verse 22. This is John chapter 20, verse 22. And it reads, and he said this he breathed on them, and he said unto them, receive the Holy Spirit. Whosoever sins ye remit, they are remitted unto them. And whosoever sins ye retain, they are retained. Okay? This is John speaking, you know? This was him speaking that this is how we're breathing the Holy Spirit on people with this truth, you know, through him. It's not us doing it, it's him doing it, you know? Just like they did back then after, you know, it said John the Baptist, after he said, I baptize you in water, but he said, but who comes after me is more worthier than me, and it's shoes that I cannot bear, you know? And he said he will try you through the fire, which is this, these trials, you know, and he'll breathe on you the Holy Spirit, you know, and that's why he's commanding us to prophesy in the wind, you know, and that's how you know who the Lord's dealing with you know. So Salakia. And yeah, earlier I had Salakia for the ones who was watching, and I had to get off the phone earlier, get on the phone earlier for a second, you know. I try to not put out my business out there too much, but I do got a lot going on. The brotherhood's praying for me, no big deal, you know. You know, I'm very happy to be in these trials. That's how I know he's getting me ready, you know. So this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. I might come back. I'm probably going to come back and do a part 2, but I'm going to finish at least an hour. But I want to come back and finish it up. I got to be at the plantation at 3. It's been a rough couple days. Lord been the woo, man. He been putting me on some trials, but I'm so glad to be in, man. It's the most beautiful thing ever that the Lord's given us a chance to come back to repentance and get our lives right, man. You know, ain't nothing too hard for us, man. We can do it. So, you brothers out there that's struggling, hey, man, don't give up. You can do it, man. Just got to pray to Bahasham, Yahawashi. You can do it, you know. Lord willing. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. I usually don't talk a lot, so Salakia. You know, it's just what the kind of spirit the Lord has me in today. You know, kind of just going where he puts my mind at. You know? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. And we're going to start at 25. And it reads, husband, love your wives, even as the Mashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. Because basically, us starting with the men, we're Bahasham and Hawashi's wife, you know, and that's why it says that we are to love our wives, you know. We're not supposed to treat them, you know, like they ain't shit, you know. We're supposed to treat them like Bahasham and Hawashi's treats us with love. And also, if, you know, they go off, we gotta, you know, keep them in order, you know. So, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word. You see, this is these waters, these deep waters, is this deep truth, the things that you got to seek for and you got to look for, you know. But we know that, you know, a lot of going back to the whole thing with kind of back and forth with the woman thing, you know, of course you're gonna have troubles with your woman and stuff. Of course you're gonna have stuff like that. But if you focus on Bahasham Yahawashi, put him first, and just do what he says do, man, life just, it clicks. You know, the Lord causes your enemies to be at peace with you. First they'll come off a little hard, and then they'll call you and be like, you know what? Hey, man, hey, you know, we'll do this. You know, and that's how it's been. You know, and that's why I just be patient and let people say what they got to say and be okay, man. And just, you know, be a man. Come over here and still do the work. We ain't worried about you. You ain't going to stop us how we feel. We love Yahawashi over here. You know, just like if your wife go off, don't let her make it get out your body. And it's just for the men who do have wives, you know. And not saying that I have a lot of experience on this, but I do have some experience on this. And I've been, you know, I do have a woman, you know. She, you know, she has sometimes where she be like, man, I'm, you know, something, whatever. And I handle it through this word. I always give her scriptures, man. Just like the Lord, when we his woman, right? And we get mad, we get frustrated sometimes. Like, fuck, man, what the Lord do? He bring us these words and comfort us, and we all right, we cool, Lord. We cool, we back at it. And that's why you got to stick in this prophecy every day. Occupy yourselves in prophecy, you know? And keep yourself grounded in this truth. So this is verse 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having a spot or wrinkle, talking about the doctrine, because, you know, of course, you know, when we go off in the flesh, we in these simple bodies, you know. So having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but it should be holy and without blemish, you know, and that's what we're fighting to be. We're fighting to be this chaste virgin for Yahawashi and Yahawashi, man. You know, that's what we fight for every day. You know, to show the hopeful elect that, you know, we're willing to give our lives up to y'all. Of course, we're scattered across the four corners of the earth, but we're all as one, you know. We're all as one people when it comes to this truth. If you cling to this truth and you put this first, you know, eventually the Lord's going to exalt you in due time. You know, eventually he's going to start bringing the body around you, and the body will start saying, oh, man, he's sincere. You know, because that's what we want. We want to let our brothers know out there, hey, we enduring over here and Babylon the Great over here. Somebody got to do the work over here. It's got to get done. You know, Lord don't need us, but we need the Lord. So what we got to do? We got to do what he said do. You know, get this work done. You know, it's very important that we present our bodies as living sacrifices, you know. It's what makes us whole. It's what gets us right back with the Lord. And he'll guide your steps. You know, he only guides those who he loves, though. But he's never going to bring somebody to this truth he don't love, man. He never will, you know. And it says, if somebody goes out from the truth, then they were never with us. So if you stick around, that's how you know Yahawashi loves you, man. And he don't want to see you perish. So he's got to chastise you because he's, you know, we his woman, man. You know, we got to be disciplined. We got to be, you know, in a sense, he's taming the men, and we're supposed to be taming our wives and the children if you got children. And that's not a bad thing. We're trying to tame you from going off and turning into a demon, you know, because this is all we know. All we know is how to do things the way Esau Edom taught us. That's all we know. We ain't gonna be like him no more, though, man. You come in this truth, that's it. We don't do things like him, you know, in any way. That's what we strive for. So this is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. Let's start at 21. If so, be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahawashi, because he's literally the words. Yahawashi is these words. What does he say? He said, verse 22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. Verse 23, and to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You see? And it says you have to be convinced in your whole mind. You know? You have to be convinced the Lord called us out here to do this. And he said many were called, but few were chosen. So maybe we might not be chosen, but it doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. What matters is exalting the name of Yahawashi and being prepared to die for Yahawashi if we don't make it, you know, on this side. Just think about it, though. If you do die, it's going to be a glorious death. You're going to wake up and the Lord going to say, hey, I put you through that because you are a very special spirit. And I knew you could endure that. Not everybody can endure that. you know. And in a sense, we all endured it. At some point, we just don't remember. Why? Because we have died before. This ain't our first time here, you know. And I don't want to get too deep with it, but yeah, like, you know, how could he tell the prophets that they're going to see their enemies fall here in America, Babylon the Great, if they weren't back again? You know, they got to come. They got to be here. You know, and I believe all of those men are in great millstone. That's just my belief. You know, that's what the prophets are. They are the prophets. You know, coming back again. It's them. You know. So this is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 8. I know I'm going backwards, you know, starting from the top of it going back, but that's just the way the Lord got me doing it. So this is Ephesians chapter 3, verse 8. And it reads, let's do 7. And it reads, whereof I was made a minister according to the gift, see, it's a gift of the grace of power given unto me by the effectual working of his power. See, it's his will for us to do it this way, or we wouldn't go out and do it. It says men's ways are the going of the Lord. You know, what man can know his own way? That's how I know Yahawashi has guided me to do that. He says, see, I still got you doing it. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, but you're still doing the work, you know, because he wants me to do it. And I'm glad that he wants me to do it. That's how much we got to have, that's how much we got to cling to Yahawashi. We can't do nothing on our own, man. And that's how it's going to be in Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to look to Yahawashi every step we take, every single one of them, you know. So unto me, verse 8, unto me, who am less than the least of all saints, is this grace given, that I should preach among the Gentiles. And that's talking about, you know, the nation of Israel. You know, the Gentiles, when you look in Acts 10:28, when you look up the word nation, when you look down in there, when you go to the root word, it says all the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that was talking about Peter bringing these they said about them unclean animals, but they were humans and they look like other nations. You know, that's how we say, you know, shalom to the other nations that look like Israel. He was bringing them to Cornelius, and the Lord said, don't call them unclean. Those are my people too. They're Israel too, because you're from the seed line, you know, through your father. You know, you from one of those 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian, Haitians. But when you start digging deeper, you start seeing that there's other groups of people that are also part of Israel, the Panamanians, and, you know, all these other different nations. And but you need those deeper understandings by doing what? Listening to the elders and apostles, because they know they're the ones who made the chart. You know, our four spiritual fathers, they're the ones the Lord gave the spirit to know the chart. Like, look how far we came. There's no way we could have did this without the Lord. It's impossible, you know. So like I said, chapter 3, I was on verse 8. Salakia, yeah, wait. Yep. I was on verse 8. I think it's just page flip. No, right here. Yep. So this is 9, and it reads, and to make all men see what is fellowship of the mystery. See? Which from the beginning of the world have been hid in power. See, it was hid. In Daniel 7:10, it says that it was 10,000s and 10,000s of ministers in front of Yahawah, the Ancient of Days. And then he said the judgment was set and the books were open. So the judgment was already set for this truth to be hid from the world at a specific time and to be revealed again at a specific time, or falling away first, like it says in Thessalonians, you know. So it's been hid from power, who created all things by Yahawashi Mashiach. And it says that also in Colossians, that he's the first of all principalities. That's how we know Yahawashi was Adam, because he was the first of all beings. You see?
you know. But I don't want to get in too deep into it, you know. Be some new people coming around. You want to get in too deep, but the ones that know, they know. Because why? Because we've been around long enough. And Sophia, which is wisdom, she will reveal it to you. But first, she's got to try you. First, she's got to see if you're tough. You know, that's how it is. You know, because once you start going through that chastisement, you know, a lot of people they fall out. They go, oh, I ain't ready for this. I'll go back into the world. You know, don't do it. Don't go back into the world. It's gonna be worse off. It's gonna be worse off. So, like I said, it says, and to make all men see what is the fellow, all things by Yahawashi Mashiach, and verse 10, to the intent that now unto the principalities and powers in heavenly places might be known by the church the manifold wisdom of power. See, we're given this spiritual understanding of this word, you know, and we're the least of the planet, you know. They don't really pay no mind to us, you know. And now we're in the end, so people do start paying their mind to us. Now they start looking like, oh man, the Bible wasn't playing. They're doing it. They're out there putting on the image of the elect. Because it says even the demons tremble at his name. Even the demons know who Yahawashi is. And that's why they work so hard to hide his name. You know, and they turned into Jesus Christ. Why would they hide his name if it wasn't a powerful name? You see? They terrified the name of the Lord. They made a multi-billion-dollar, you know, nation, multi-trillion-dollar nation to cover up his name. Just his name alone. And the fact that his prophets were so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know? Man, I'm telling you. And of course, all the other nations, you know, that look like the other nations, of course. But the head of them is Judah, is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you know, and Judah is the head tribe. You know, they were the ones, you know, this is our duty, you know, and that's why you see a lot of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, we're out here, you know, but you got some that look like the other nations, you know, that are put in prominent positions as well. They have a position too, you know. So, you know, but that's out of my pay grade to be talking about that. You know, I'm just following. So anyways, verse 11, according to the eternal purpose, which he purposed in the Mashiach Yahawashi, our Lord, in whom we have boldness and access with confidence by the faith of him. Why do we have that access to that confidence? Because he gave us that confidence. You know, he gave us this faith. You know, so we're going to go to John or Colossians chapter 3, verse 8. So I remember when I came into True Biblia, some of the most simple understandings, you know, was like mind blowing. You know, it was like, man, you know, because it's literally learning how to think from right to left again instead of left to right. You know, we got to learn how to walk again. You know, we new babes, you know, on the side of the Lord. So Colossians chapter 3, verse 8, that's what it means to be born again, to realize the seriousness of this and, you know, what your role is, you know, whatever the Lord put the Spirit on you to do, to that measure he sets you to. So Colossians chapter 3, verse 8, it says, but now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. And that's basically talking about, you know, putting down false doctrine, putting out stuff like that. And it says also, it says, be ye angry. You can be angry, but don't make it cause you to go back into sin, or don't make it cause you to, you know, do something out of your character, you know, to somebody else. You know, it's different than we out here on the highways, byways. We got a day we out here, we're screaming real loud. That's the Lord that put the Spirit on us to do that, you know, because He's angry, you know, and we're trying to portray that to our people. It said, Isaiah 58 verse 1, cry loud, spare not, you know. Sometimes we crying out real loud. Sometimes we go at a moderate tone. It depends on what the Spirit's putting us on and what we're going through the day, you know, and that's how the Spirit is. It's like the wind. We don't know how we're going to be that day, but we wake up and say, Lord, whatever I do, make sure it glorify your name and to make sure I don't have no wavering spirit, you know. Ask for repentance for the things you did that you can't even remember, and also the things that you might not even knew you trespassed on. You know, sometimes we do stuff and don't realize we going on. You know, the new people coming in the truth, but as you get more into the truth, you start realizing, like, you know, you're sinning less and less. You know, you're getting better at it. You're supposed to grow in this thing. You know, you're a seed. You got to keep putting the waters of the word on that seed. And as you do it repetitiously, you start to be like, all right, this is me. This is what I'm starting to remember. This is what I'm supposed to do. You know, on a regular basis. Verse 9, lie not to one another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. And that's why we get a little frustrated or we get a little angry whenever you have somebody come across and say, oh, I'm real diligent, I really love the Lord, and then just be straight lying, man. We're not supposed to be like that, man. That's the old man. We're not supposed to be lying to our brethren, you know. Now I can understand you got some shit, Esau Edom try to come over there and say some shit, you might make a little lie, be like, oh yeah, I told you I was gonna be there, my bad, blah blah blah. Okay, that's a little different, you know. It's still not supposed to do it. Shalom, sister. Still not supposed to do it. But what I'm saying is that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about the brotherhood. You know, it says agree with thy adversary quickly. So when they come across saying something, we usually boo biggity ass anyways, because we don't want no problems with them. Because we're not in power right now. It's like, all right, whatever, sure, whatever, all right, bye. You know, we don't want no problems with them. You know? We're supposed to be as humble as doves, but wise as serpents. You know? We're in a battlefield right now, man. This is a battle. You know? So verse 10, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. See? So this is what we're putting on. We're putting on this image of Bahasham, Yahawashi. See? And we're renewed by the knowledge. But first you got to have wisdom. What's wisdom? To know who the Lord's dealing with. That's a big part of wisdom. To know that this is the truth, the 100% truth. To know that the Lord's dealing with great millstones. That's why if you go watch like Men of Valor, even though they might not be great millstone, what they do? They say double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. What do the followers do like me? We say double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Because this is who we got it from. This is how we know the Lord's dealing with them. So that's wisdom. But we can't get wisdom unless it was, you know, unless we have faith. And faith is a gift to believe that this is wisdom. And then you get the knowledge, you know? And that's what turns us into that new man. All this knowledge that we are attaining. You see? So, this is John chapter 7, verse 24. So John chapter 7, verse 24. And it reads, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So what that means is, you know, somebody might look like a so-called white person, but they might be Jay because their father, you know, could have been a Judite or could have been a Levite, you know, or, you know, it could have been Issachar, could have been one of those tribes, you know, and his mama was just looked like a so-called white woman and he ended up turning out looking like a so-called white boy. Still don't, just because, like I said, and how we fled into Africa, whenever Israel was raided in 70 AD, you don't go from there and be a Judite man and run into Africa, and then turn into African. That doesn't make any sense. You're still a Judite, man. You're just a Judite in Africa, And that's how, like, it's just the more you get in this truth, you start to realize, like, these people really don't know what they're doing. And that's what the Lord said. He said, forgive these people because they don't know what they do. And he did what? He cast lots. Destinies. That's their destiny to be like that. Somebody got to play that role, So, we thank Bahasham Yahawashi. He doesn't got us playing it. And they can do that, That means he really loves us, So, this is 1 John, chapter 4, verse 1. And, it's crazy because, like, like the Lord works in the spirit so much, like, when I'm doing these lessons, even though I put down the precepts I'm going to read about and what I'm going to talk about, it's like if I go, sometimes I'll go and rewatch my lesson and I'll be like, I don't even remember saying that. It's like I'm almost watching myself, because this isn't me. This is Bahasham Yahawashi's work. I'm just standing here, and he's doing the rest. That's like really what it is. Like, that's how it is. All the brethren who are doing this across the earth, it's really not even us. It's Bahasham Yahawashi standing there everywhere. And that's why he said, treat your brothers like they was Yahawashi, because they are. He's using their vessels. That's why we're supposed to have utmost respect for these men, And he's also using the women too, but he's using those women to serve those men, So don't think that he's not dealing with the women. Some women, like my rib, she had a dream that was real vivid, so vivid I didn't even get to know about it. I was like, oh, that's bullshit. I want to know what happened, But hey, the Lord deals with us in all different ways, depending on our level of faith. So this is 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. It's just a man's job to lead. It doesn't mean that he ain't dealing with the women. Y'all are a big part of us. That's why I said being without a woman is, it's hard for a man to be without a woman, Y'all are a comfort to us. Whenever y'all in y'all right position and y'all are servants unto us, it makes us to where, like, it like puts this light on us. Like, it helps us be like feel way more honorable, Like, we got somebody we can go home to. Everybody in the world attack us and say, fuck you. Go home and, your wife done made you a smoothie, whatever, and it says be as though you didn't have no wife. But it says it's not a sin if you get one. Some brothers don't want a wife. I was one of them brothers, but the Lord, he still blessed me with one, And I wouldn't, you don't want to take something that the Lord, somebody gave you as a gift, right? If the Lord gives you a gift, what do? You take care of it, man. You take care of it, man. Just like he gave us his truth. And if you can't take care of your one wife, your one woman, you can't take care of her and tend after her. How you going to tend after a whole flock during Jacob's trouble? Because that's what the elect men going to be doing. They're going to be taking care of a big amount of group of people. So this is the test right now in our trials to see, if we're able to do that. And we got to do it to the end. We hope to be a part of that number. So, anyways, this is 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit. See, it was talking about earlier, like I was saying, it said, don't judge by the appearance, judge by the spirit. See? Because their spirit, if it's like the wind, what they're going to do? They're going to take heed to the word, But try the spirits, whether they are of power, and that takes time. It has to take time. There has to be a certain amount of time to go across of that trying. That's us being turned in that fire, So whether they are of power, because many false prophets are gone into the world. And how do we know they're false prophets? By their fruits, by their words, by their diligence, by their seriousness. You know, that's how we're able to try them over time. You know, we're all being tried. You know, everybody's being tried. And everybody who doesn't take this truth seriously, it's going to be bad when it gets to that time, you know. But don't be scared, you know. Don't be afraid. And sometimes we do get scared. You know, that's how I was when I came into truth. I was terrified, you know. But as I got into this truth form, you know, I started realizing that, you know, all I can do is the best I can every day for Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. That's it, you know. So I'm gonna do a couple more precepts. I'm gonna come back and do a part 2. I gotta be at work. Gotta be at the plantation at 3. It's 1:28. I had just a little bit. I had left my. I basically had to be a nomad and move all my stuff, and I left a very important camera. I got a camera that I left over there, and I gotta meet people who own the place. You know, in 2 minutes, and I got to go get that camera so I can make sure I got that. So I'm going to go do that because, you know, I use that to do part of the work, you know. So I need to get that done. And then, Lord willing, I'm going to try to come back here and do another, you know, 30 minutes and then rush off to the plantation. And then, Lord willing, you know, I can get some more done tomorrow morning before I go to camp, you know, with my elders. You know, but I want to do a little bit more. I'm gonna be a little late, but that's fine. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25. I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna close out, and I'm gonna go down the street, go try to get this, make sure I got this, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Well, I'm gonna make sure I got this, and I'm gonna come back, do that, then I'm gonna get to work. So 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25, you know, because I don't like just doing an hour. I like doing at least 30 minutes, 2 hours, you know. I feel comfortable out here, you know. I like being with the Lord, you know. It's the best place to be is on these highways and these byways, you know, for as a man, to me, you know. So 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 25, and it reads, because the foolishness of power is wiser than men. So us being fools for a Mashiach, us being fools for Yahawashi, you know, it's way stronger than everything on the planet, you know. And the weakness of power is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. Verse 27, but power have chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, and power have chosen the weak things of this world to confound the things which are mighty, and base things of the world, and things which are despised. See, we are despised here. You know, they look at us and say, like, we ain't nothing, but they're going to find out that we more than what they think, you know, but that's cool. Don't let it play out. Which power chosen, see, he chose us. He chose us to do this work. So that's how we know there ain't no such thing as free will. There's only predestination. Everything's predestined to happen. Like he said in Daniel 17. So this is have power chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence. See? And that's why we don't lift ourselves up like IUIC and them other camps. Because why? Because who we cling to, Great Millstone, they don't get down like that, man. They don't do that, man. They just do the work, you know? And of course you can have, you know, have the time we made, man, brother, that was a beautiful lesson. You know, you're a great brother, you can do that, that's cool. But that's because we basically soldiers together, you know? This is a man right next to you, you know? That's all we got, you know, and Yahawashi. So Salakia, I had to cut this off in an hour. I wanted to finish it up, but the spirit is like the wind, and the Lord is blowing me over here to go get this stuff because it's a very crucial part to me being able to keep making videos once I run out of memory on this thing. So I'm gonna go get this, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna keep going. and then I got to get to the plantation. They dragging me over there. So where was it at? Where was it at? I want to find out. Make sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, so anyways, so I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start in the book of Daniel. So that's where I'm gonna leave off with. I'll be back. So the water for two again. I'm gonna give all praise to Barak, Yahawah. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawah. I gotta give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Qadash. I'm going to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, to show forth the Lord's righteousness, mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing to be part of that number. Lord willing to be edifying those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. Not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. And is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. The water for tuning in. Lord willing, I come back, continue on this lesson that the Lord gave me about the Spirit, and we're going to move like the plan. So, Shalom, Wah, Bah, Bah.